So when did you realize you wanted to be a comedian?
It was the furthest thing from my mind. When I came out of the service, I spent 4 years in the military. When I came out, I was doing odd jobs. I worked construction. I worked at a loading dock. I loaded trucks. I was a teamster. And then I dropped my card and I became management of a trucking company. And I managed 48 teamster guys loading trucks. And then I left there and I sold life insurance, and I was doing all sorts of odd jobs. But I joined a civic group called the JCs. And while I was in the JCs, I wrote a drug education program teaching grade school children the ills of drug abuse with humor. It was a concept I had. In those days, they weren't teaching drug education at a college level or a high school level, let alone at an elementary school level. So I wrote this project, and helping me with it was a young black man in the community who joined the JCs. And a lot of our program was based on getting the kids laughing and then planting the seeds of the problems of drug abuse. And one day a little 8th grade girl said, "You guys are funny. You ought to become a comedy team." And the thought of a black-white comedy team intrigued us. No one had ever done that before. So we started writing what we thought was material. And we, there were no comedy clubs in America in those days. This was 1969. So we went up on stage one night in a little jazz club, and we bombed, and the guy let us up, and then he let us come back the next day. And the next day we scored, we got some laughs, and we got hooked. And we became America's first black and white comedy team. History shows we were the last. We stayed together 6 years. We wrote a book about it a couple of years ago, and it's now becoming a movie. A company just optioned the book and we just got the first draft the other day of the screenplay. So it'll be a history of the first black and white comedy team in America. And as I say, history shows we were the last. Tim, my partner, Tim Reid, later went on to become Venus Flytrap on WKRP Cincinnati, and he was on a lot of other shows, he's on many sitcoms. He's had a very successful career.